The luxury SUV market has become extremely competitive in the last few years, leading manufacturers to be very creative in finding new ways to outdo the competition. One way that manufacturers are trying to set themselves apart is by introducing electric variants of their luxury SUVs. The Audi e-tron, for example, is essentially an electric version of the Q5, and now it sounds like Cadillac might be rolling out an electric version of the Escalade in the next coming years. Before we dive into this video, I want to give a quick shout out to Survive the Drive. They have partnered with us to help produce this video and bring it to you guys, and they are a free-to-play mobile game. You can see the demo here on the screen. What I really like about this game is, much like our channel is built by automotive enthusiasts and marketed to other automotive enthusiasts. So there's really a lot of detail and in-depth information built into the game, and it's pretty fun and competitive. So I suggest going and checking it out on your app store. Just search Survive the Drive or check the links in the description. And go ahead and play the game with your friends and let me know in the comments what you think. But now getting back to our story, there's a couple reasons why manufacturers are wanting to switch to electric cars. The number one reason is perhaps how smooth an electric vehicle can be. The fact that there's no gear changes and there's no, say, turbochargers with lag or needing to downshift to accelerate on the highway, things like that with normal internal combustion engines that can create somewhat of an unsteady ride, especially when the goal is absolute luxury, peace, smoothness, and serenity within the vehicle cabin. So given that fact alone, it makes absolute sense to me that Cadillac would be looking at transforming the Escalade into an electric vehicle, or at least offering an electric variant in the next coming years, especially as these American brands are really ramping up their production and competitiveness in the EV market. This project was sort of confirmed by an insider source this last week that yes, there is this project, yes, they are working on electric Escalade, but again, take that confirmation with a grain of salt because it's just from an inside source, so it's really just a rumor that is confirming the speculation, so don't necessarily take it as 100% for sure, but there's a couple reasons why it makes sense. First off, the Escalade for a long time has been built on the full-size truck platform that GM uses for their pickups. And GM has already confirmed that they're building an electric pickup truck on this platform. So given the fact that they're already investing money into electrifying this platform, it's really not surprising that that could also transfer over to the Escalade. It's not really a big stretch of the imagination. Also, back at the Detroit Auto Show back in January, GM also announced that Cadillac would be introducing a new SUV for the 2022 model year that would be a smaller SUV built on an all-new platform and would have a full electric variant. While this vehicle is very different in scale than the Escalade, given that it's more of a crossover size vehicle, it really lays the groundwork that GM/Cadillac are interested in pursuing the electrification of their lineup, which again is just adding validity to this rumor about an electric Escalade. So the other piece of information that was supposedly confirmed by this report is that the new electric Escalade will have a 400-mile range. Now personally, I can't really get behind that. I don't believe that. I think that's extremely ambitious and just overly optimistic, to say the least. I think given looking at the range of the Tesla Model X, the Audi e-tron, and even the Porsche Taycan, some of these other competitors on the market and what they're able to accomplish, I just don't really expect the Escalade to get that kind of range. A couple factors would obviously play into the range of the Escalade, one being the fact that it's a very large vehicle, so you could certainly fit a huge battery pack in it. But again, with regulation and fire concerns and weight concerns, I don't think you're actually going to put a huge battery pack in it that's going to be much bigger than a 90 or maybe even 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, which would be in line with the largest ones we're seeing from any of the competitors. So even though yes, the Escalade is bigger than the competitors, I don't think it'll have a bigger battery pack. And then the biggest detriment to the Escalade's range is obviously going to be its aerodynamics. We all know it's not an aerodynamic or fuel efficient vehicle to begin with. So given the fact that it's probably going to be built on the same platform, don't expect it to all of a sudden be more aerodynamic. But that's also okay, because that's what makes the Escalade great, is just its form and presence on the road. So I'm glad that's not changing. But again, I don't expect a 400-mile range out of this. I would expect high 200s, 280 range, maybe low 300s. In terms of timing for this vehicle, I personally expect it to come out in the next couple of years. I would expect it to be out before the Escalade is refreshed, because we know that GM is already working on electrifying the platform that the current Escalade is on, as well as their larger pickup trucks. So I imagine they will roll it out in the next couple of years to the Escalade and the electric pickup variant. So my prediction is that you'll be able to get your hands on an electric Escalade before the new generation comes out. And then once the new generation comes out, again, I expect a electric variant in that platform as well.